Hey, y'all. One of the top questions I ever get as a buyer's agent is where do I start my home search? And of course, that is a personal decision. However, some of the questions that I usually end up asking is, well, where are you going to work? Do you care about the commute distance? And so today we're going to use Google Maps to help figure out what some of those times are for commute or travel for whatever your routine may be, whether it's work or recreational activities, schools, things that are important to you. And so I will reference a previous map video that we did, and I'll link that to for you in the show notes. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So I'm starting off here on a normal Google page, and I'm going to type in maps right here in the search bar, and it'll bring up Google Maps, and I will zoom out because it automatically did my location detection for here in Colorado Springs. And again, just to orient us, we have Denver up here to our north, and then Castle Rock to the south of Denver, and about 30 minutes further south is Colorado Springs. And then you have Pueblo to our south down here. So as we zoom back into Colorado Springs, we'll orient ourselves to the greater Colorado Springs area using the military bases that are around. So on the northeast side, northwest side of Colorado Springs, you have the Air Force Academy. Uh, that's about as far north as you can get before moving into a different city. And then we'll go to clockwise here, and you will see the Colorado Springs Airport down here around the 5 o'clock position. That airport shares a runway with Peterson Air Force Base. That's again down here. Further east, you will see Schriever Air Force Base out here, and then going to our between 6 and 7 o'clock position, we have Fort Carson down here on the southwest side. So, just to keep us all oriented, that is where we are. Air Force Academy out here towards on the north side, Schriever on the southeast side, Schriever and Peterson, and then Fort Carson on the southwest side. So, with that, if you'll remember the last time you log into your Google account, you are able to click on these three lines there known as a hamburger. And I'm going to click on saved. And this saved piece are the different locations that we cared about last time and we saved. And so I'm going to bring up the show on the map for Fort Carson. You'll see that little flag popped up down there. And then I'm going to bring up show on the map Peterson Air Force Base. That flag popped up there. And then show on the map Air Force Academy. That flag popped up out there. And then out here out east, we have Schriever Air Force Base. If you need to create a new one, just go to new list. And again, I'll just double entry for Schriever. So just name the new list Schriever, add a place. I'm typing in Schriever Space Force Base again, and it popped up, and there we are. We can now close this out, and it's saved. So our four work locations, as an example for today, Air Force Academy, Schriever, Peterson, and Fort Carson. Now, what I also like to do is go to the GIS website, where it's a geography website, and it talks about the zip codes for the area. You'll see out here 80840, that's USAFA, and then moving to your right, 80924, 80923, 80922, all the way down to the airport where you see 80916. And so for an example, we're going to use 80915. So this is just north of Peterson Air Force Base. We're going to go to Google Maps and we're going to type in 80915. And you can see it highlights this zip code as 80915. And we can click on save and places we want to go. And then that will mark it within our map feature there. So I'm closing that out and then going back up to our saved map. And you can see want to go. So we just saved that 80915 zip code to this folder. And I had already created a few others. So I'm going to show all these on the map. And now you can see they're popping up as a flag. So this is 80916, 80915, the one that we just created, 80923, and then 80924. And there's one more that I'd created up here, and it's 80132, and that's Monument. And so now you can click on this directions button. So you've saved these locations, or at least these zip codes. I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to go to directions. And in this case, we could type in Fort Carson, just the main exchange being on the middle of the base. And you can see if I lived in northern Colorado Springs or in Monument, and I had to drive down to Fort Carson every day, we're looking at a 41 minute commute, or right around 30 miles to get down there. That is, in my opinion, it's a significant haul, but depending on where you're coming from, that could be nothing. And you don't have an issue with that at all. But I just repeat this process for the different areas that I come across. So, 80924, that zip code, I perhaps, well, I'll close this one out here. That gets rid of that. I'm going to click on 80924, and I want directions to the Air Force Academy. You can see that commute there is right around 20 minutes, and a lot of that is actually being on the base itself. It's a huge campus, and so it takes it's quite the commute just to get from the gate all the way up to the working areas from there. But that's exactly how I start to narrow in on what zip codes do I want to start my home search within, based on the commute, because the commute in my priority list is pretty high. Yours might be very different, and it doesn't matter to you, but you could use the same methodology for to fit your needs. I hope you found this useful. If you want further guidance on how to set this up, I'm absolutely available, and I would love to show you how to do that. Feel free to reach out, give me a ring or a text, and we'll work through it. Thanks for listening. Have a good one, and talk to you soon.